we create a class and give it the name next AI Inc. The naming convention we used here is the Pascal naming convention. A class is a blueprint for objects, and public means the class can be accessed from anywhere. So we do initialize and declare variables here. Private means can be accessed from only this class. It is restricted. Static means belongs to this class and not any other instance. Final means it cannot be changed or reassigned. Integer, here we are declaring an integer variable named mean hourly rate and initialize it to 30,000. The same is done for these integer variables, which we have regular hours limit initialized 48 and max hours limit initialized to 72. Then here we create a method. Public means it can be accessed from anywhere. Void means it does not return anything, and this method takes in two parameters which are integers. So we have base hourly rate and hours worked. So here we validate base hourly rate to check if it's less than the mean hourly rate, and we have this printed on the console with system.out.println. So we have this string concatenated to a variable, concatenated to a string, concatenated to a constant, which is also an integer. Then we have return here at the end to exit the function block. Then we do the same validation for hours worked to check if hours worked is greater than the max hours limit, and still we print on the console. We have this string concatenated to a variable, concatenated to a string, concatenated to a constant, which is an integer, then later to the string, and have it printed on the console. We exit the function block with return keyword. So here we have an integer variable which is declared and assigned to this math function that takes in two arguments, hours worked and regular hours limit. It returns the minimum of these two. So then here we have another variable which is an integer variable that is assigned to a math function, where we have this calculation, regular hours limit subtracted from hours worked, and the 0 is a fallback value, in where we realize that just in case we have a negative from this computation, the 0 will be a fallback value, because this one takes the maximum of the value that will have come out of this calculation. Then here we have a long variable that is declared and explicitly casted to this other side, where we have long. We are explicitly casting this to get the result as a long. Long also is relative to a decimal because it has a floating point. Then here we have this calculation here, regular hours multiplied with base pay. Then here we have overtime, which is a long variable with explicit casting. We have this calculation here. It multiplies the output of this in the brackets to overtime hours. Then here we have another variable which is a long variable that has been declared here and assigned to this calculation, regular pay plus overtime pay. Then here we have this printed on the console. This is a string, and this is an escape sequence, but later creates a new line on the console. So this is printed on the console. Then we have also this, which is printed, this string concatenated to a variable, and the base hourly rate was a parameter here, which was an integer. So we have it here, and to be concatenated to this string. Then we have this string concatenated to a variable, concatenated to a string, to a variable, to a string, then variable. Then this will be printed on the console. Then here we check if the overtime hour is greater than 0. If so, we'll have this printed on the console, the overtime, which is a string concatenated to a variable, to a string, to this calculation, which will be an integer because this was a parameter which was an integer. and we have this string here concatenated to a variable. Then we after closing this block, we'll have this executed whether this is true or not. This line 46 will be executed, will be printed out on the console. We have the string concatenated to the total pay, where total pay was an addition of a summation of regular pay and overtime pay. So here, this is the main entry point of the program. So this main is the entry point of the program. Void, like we said, does not return anything. Static, it belongs to the class and not any other instance, and public can be accessed from anywhere. Public means it can be accessed from anywhere. Then here we create an instance which is an object. The instance which is an object, instance of a class. Payment calculator is an instance of this class we created up there, which was Next AI Inc. So here we use this to print on the console, which is test case A, and this object accesses this method since it's within it using dot notation and takes in 2 arguments. This which was the base pay, and this one which is hours worked. So we have 3 test cases: test case A, B, and C, and we test all these. We run this program to see the output. So the program is run to see the output. So the program is running as a way to see the output. So here we realize that the program has run and the test case A is here. This is the breakdown. We have this that was that, like I said, the program. We have the base hourly rate, and this was the calculation where we saw there was this constant which was multiplied to this constant as well, because these are 2 constants according to our program there. So this is the output. The same happens here, where we also have the total pay here, which was a summation of the 2 variables which gave us this. Test case B, we printed this on the console. This is what, from the validation we checked, it resulted as positive and gave us this. So we have the base, we have this string base pay rate of 20k is low, is below the minimum required, which is 30,000. Remember this constant here when we declared and initialized it at the beginning. Then test case C, we have this string, this thing which was this line which was printed on the console. Still we have this error from the validation that was checked. Hours worked, which is 96, exceeds the maximum, which is 72. 72 was a final, was a integer variable that was declared earlier as we began, and the build was successful and the program